Is this part of the show? Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix the state.
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still at—
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the—
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause. But if this was all part of some scheme, then those accountable will not escape the judgment of the God of Justice!
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough. Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, and after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance, and there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
The serial disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before!
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. Really, using such a shallow and obvious mystery as his finale, I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Lenny, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing was an accident.
Oh, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not? Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear—
That can't be right! How can Lenny do this? He was in the box on the stage the entire time! We can even hear his voice! Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances!
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Lenny and his associate?
Huh? I just think that he— Well, I think it might be a little early to talk about formally pressing charges.
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense. Looks like she's gonna personally—
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show. Lady Farina said it all.
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is the opponent I'll be facing. That's right. I mean you, Traveler. You'll support Lenny, won't you? Then there's no problem at all. You know, the Traveler and I already had a duel the first time we met. But with Lenny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. But draws really are the most boring possible outcome. So, no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser. And what better place to hold such a riveting showdown and decide the true victor than here?
Huh? It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last—
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such— Well, Traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. But putting her Are you willing to act as Mr. Lenny's attorney and defend him in this case? Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Both sides may investigate the scene to build their cases, and Linny and his troop are all potential suspects and shall remain within the... The audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big-shot outlander can build in such a short amount of time. I'm really...
Linny!
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared after witnessing an accident like that?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Tell me, do you think I could possibly be the murderer? Good to hear. Thank you so much for trusting me. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But, if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries, such that all that's left is I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, I'm afraid I don't have any answers either. If someone tampered with even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible. Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh? Don't worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. Feeling depressed isn't going to help me now. I need to get back to my normal self. But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette, and good thing you agreed to be our attorneys.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, just leave it to us. Oh, since we're going to start investigating,
Oh, well, I'm afraid that would involve some of our essential trade secrets as magicians.
The secrets behind our magic are past saving.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to... 'Tis truly a pity. As a magician, our magic show is a work of art. We've poured... But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then it will be well worth it. We should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks. We'll go speak with the guards, and in the meantime, you can go invest...
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Detective Paimon is... Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned. Listen, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'd avoid getting mixed up in this whirlpool of a mess if I were you.
Huh? What do you mean?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone... The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show and keeping the crowd engaged. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowell inside it. This is the real mystery. We've already searched the scene and were unable to find any traces of the... However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. The ropes holding the tank were then burned by the pyrotechnics on stage. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned, and Linny is the most likely person to have access to all these areas.
But he doesn't have a motive.
Are you both good friends of his?
Well, you can't say we're good friends, but...
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but even convince you to act as his attorneys. I know there's no such thing as magic. The real trick of a magician is holding the audience in the palm of their hand. I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence. Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Just know that I'm warning you for your own good. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious. Who knows, maybe you'll be able to come up with some new evidence.
So this is the rope that broke and caused the... The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks? Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler? Whoa. Look! This bit of... Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something with... Wait! Why would you write all this...
This location has also been cordoned off because the Magic Troupe members are currently considered. The seats were all booked in advance, so we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking the guest. Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. We will publish it later anyway when we petition the public to help us find the missing person. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontain who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House, but she'd been feeling some pressure with her work lately, which made her decide to come see the Magic Troupe members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. It seems, simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troupe at all, which matches the features of the previous serial disappearances.
Were the victims of previous cases also
That's how it seems to us, in any case. Apart from the fact that they were all young women of around the same age range, there really...
Okay then.
No need to be so formal. If you do happen to see the missing girl, please, it is of utmost importance that we get to the...
I see that you're investigating the area. If you find any new and interesting leads...
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then why don't I tell you my hypothesis first? The way I...
The thud? Oh, you mean the sound that happened during...
Yes, exactly. It wasn't terribly loud, but I suspect that it's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with bated breath. So no one paid it much mind. But now that the incident has...
That makes sense.
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Lenny's accomplice. Lynette, perhaps. Jumping atop the water tank, and when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too loud for that?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right, leading to a particularly rough landing. Oh, that's true.
That does remind Paimon.
Lenny's still talking to the guard. I think someone will be...
Whoever the... Why would... We all... This rope?
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here!
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and pursue the truth. No? And by the looks of it...
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you and I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me Boss.
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus. Demoiselle's various daily needs and
Huh? Boss? Demoiselle?
Well, I am the second generation president. Melus and the others are still...
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use...
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay, if you say so. Not to remember...
All merely trifling details. Never mind. That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases. My interest stems from... Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too! That's why we're looking for But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled... Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever. But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the Justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was... Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was no way Farina was going to back down in that situation.
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times, but liking her doesn't mean that I'll blindly agree. All right, I've answered your question. Now, it's time you answer mine.
Wait a minute! Did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry, you won't hear any point. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's...
Well?
And why would that be? See?
Most astute of you, Demoiselle. I, too, think that the travel, no matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, that if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Melus. Anyway, I like your answer. Now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigation...
Wait! Since when did we become assistants?
Oh, well, I can be the...
That's more like it.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's in... You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances.
You have a point. And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got some...
I have nothing to add.
Oh, alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first. Just be sure.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House.
No, we're not leaving. We're representing Linny and Lynette as attorneys, so were you always guarding this entrance?
Yes, after the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or... So, the missing girl couldn't have left from... I doubt there was much of.
How can you be so sure?
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. But still, I did not abandon my post. And I stayed put no matter how loud the applause was. If someone had so... We Melazines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So, it's safe to say the girl... Alright, thank you for your help. This'll...
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns out there's an issue with the random number selector after all.
See, I told you. What if...
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation.
You're trying to help them? That'll be a tough...
Linny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? The lucky girl that later disappeared. Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further...
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that... I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat, regardless of whether it... In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out. Linny reserved our seats for us, too.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
Understood. Then I will be going with you. Just so you're aware, I will be monitoring your actions and making notes as necessary.
Very good. Thanks for being so agreeable. I'd pull a rose out of my hat as a gift for you if I could.
You may spare the pleasantries. I'm just doing my job.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine by me.
Oh, new helpers?
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's not every day you get to see this.
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this map. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods you...
Weren't there balloons and other
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from...
The back? You mean the inside of the door?
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch... The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly. All right, let's go.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that...
I see. So that's the
Precisely. The inner box would descend after the audience.
So that's how you...
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the...
Right! You were talking that whole time, and you even came...
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve. My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand. When the countdown began, I had already gone to the opposite box via a tunnel using that ladder.
And what about Lynette? Where was she?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh, interesting.
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant. And, by the way, I was the one who walked out.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who. And that's my favorite part of this trick. Only Lynette and I can perform it.
So that's how it all worked. Wow.
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel, and then I walk out of the other box in the audience area. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysterious...
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. I probably never would have figured out how you pulled it off. And yet, to think that someone was able to use... Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime. So Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't...
Thanks, everyone.
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh?
Perhaps it was a prop for a different trick.
Whatever it is.
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why would there be water here?
Oh! Paimon knows! It's one of those tricks where you pour water and here's a broken vase.
That can't be. The trolley moves along tracks.
Let's note...
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Right. And do you really... Ugh, this is so confusing. What is this place?
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh.
Alone, perhaps. But if that...
But there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right! Let Paimon write that down.
Sorry guys on the commentary interruption. Hello,
Hello. I've been working on a house.
I see. Yeah, you're on Minecraft currently.
Yes, I totally did not just do that by person when I created mode. Totally did not.
Alright.
So, this is a house. I went through it, look. A lot of grass. There's a lot of grass there. Yeah, so she's gonna join. She was a little half.
That will be likely after I finish streaming. Unless I don't get tired after it, then yeah. Because I plan to do Genshin's Fontain quest, then the event, and then when I'm done, I'll join.
I'm gonna the stuff into the house. And if you get the crafting issue, you should get the feedback.
What did the guards say? Did the criminal escape
Which?
the event?
They believe the odds of that are very low.
Anyway, the power of Hydro, so currently where I'm at in this story, a character named Lenny and her twin sister Lynette were in an opera house performing a show, magic show, and there happens to be an accident that has occurred. One of the members of the audience disappeared, and one of their assistants have perished. And now I'm basically their lawyer and trying to be their defendant. And I have to get evidence.
Right, we're trying to figure out why
it's as if the Oratrice has its own will, and is a judge in its own right.
Yes. And it doesn't help them that there was apparently a situation about disappearing women in similar ages.
Once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision.
Yeah.
Then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted by officials.
So,
The result
I'll try my best.
is the will of
Figure this out.
itself.
Good God, I just got so many crafting issues. The whole stuff and stuff.
In practice, there is very little difference.
I'll do it
Both
now.
have always since the vent leads to the opera house's basement. The guards have checked the
Yeah, I know, it's stupid.
No one left through the basement during the performance or after the incident, and no one was found hiding there.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see.
I hate having these little interruptions. Definitely fucking annoying.
No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld.
I wasn't expecting a cab move. Earlier, also, I'm gonna. When I was mid-streaming on Minecraft Dungeons on Whimson Peak, imagine having a go with critical hit. Yeah, you don't expect it to do that much damage, eh? It took almost 1/5 of my health.
Will be used, but then, finally, the Oratrice will be consulted.
You know what?
So that machine is the one that
It's not.
In practice, there is
It's
very
not
little
my
difference.
greatest design,
Always
but
come to the
it's
same
definitely
judgment,
one.
which
It's
is why
definitely
you
one
have
that'll
great
fit in.
faith in the Chief Justice.
Alright.
Yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed
I think once I solve my issue, I think that'll be very great. Because earlier I was also having issues with downloading Cold War and Vanguard again. And that my internet decides to crash as soon as I have those downloaded. Even mid-download, my internet starts to crash. That'd be an annoyance.
I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
I think this was like my 6th stream attempt now. Because I'm redoing it again. Would have been nice if it was just one full-out thing. I'm also seeing potential seeing new characters going to be added in the future. So that's going to be fun. Doesn't even help that one of my characters I really like, because his shield is invincible, is currently available.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
By the way, just kind of heads up, the way our house is, it's usually half of a house.
You'll get to taste my awesome soup. These three are quite the
Just follow it,
Alright.
And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop dreaming.
I feel I don't know what I'm going to put in the attic, but oh well. I guess I'll come back to me eventually.
I was applauding. And I was giving encouraging.
Oops, didn't click. I didn't get to even read that option.
I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. I just really enjoy making syrup. Don't underestimate beating egg weights, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need to beat them to just the right consistency, or your macarons will crack. Anyway, give these a try. Fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us.
But how's your day before our encounter with Overwatch?
Me and the boys to come up with a new funny joke.
That's new.
Eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head.
You know how Mom is funny?
You wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
speak clearly about the case
Okay,
on a
so we come up with a deal. So, you know the round
This
meal,
is the
right?
Mazel's favorite.
So,
Strong black.
the company that made round meal also
merely
came up
doing
with
as
this
I should.
product where it's potato salad, but it's in a milk carton of the milk.
Huh.
So, we were thinking about, like, how do you get it out of there?
The tunnel
It's
seems to
a
be something of
non-room
a secret chamber.
Like, maybe it comes out in one giant
We can
thing,
assume
like,
that Liddy and
non-coated.
Lynette were not alone within it.
And then the
Some
chemical
criminal
would
also
get
occupied and
non-coated
sealed
potato salad.
Magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course.
That's actually funny.
Well, potato salad and milk carton would be hard to get out of there. Yeah, it's probably would be, where you have to cut the sides, you have to cut the carton off of it. There's like a mold.
The discarding of her clothes and her abduction.
Oh yeah.
Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the
Technically, if you think about it, sand hasn't been doing non-coated fluid.
Maybe.
None of the clues we've found thus far support the existence of this third person. But the only people left to consider.
Could Halsey have secretly made...
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Or does she have any motive? The guard said that she...
Oh yeah.
Were we not thorough enough in our search? From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing, though.
I'd be right with that, Paimon.
Great! They're nice and crisp.
They are my specialty.
Just don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows. Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough.
Top tier brain is right there. Don't break the acorn for the acorn piece. Break the acorn piece for the acorn piece. Makes sense to me.
You. If Paimon ate those 2 extra
That makes sense to me.
then maybe 10.
Alright, we get
Drop
it.
kick better
Well,
shit.
I suppose one of us might have gotten
Oh, okay, so now Via is a Geo character.
set up this making sure everyone gets 3 macaroni.
Definitely didn't get a Sumeru Geo character, that's for sure.
As you wish, demoiselle.
I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Well, this...
Well, that's
Maybe
it for
that
snack
really
time.
shit disappointment. Okay.
Don't know what we're looking for yet.
Disappointment,
It would be
okay.
awkward if you got all tongue.
Thanks for your help. And for the snack.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina
Like
di
I said,
Rosula.
disappointment.
Silver,
Okay.
Malus, it's time to go.
I like how you say that, little disappointment took it. And
No, there's an 8th that they named disappointment.
yes,
I'm not making this shit up.
I know you're not. I just like the fact that when you said that, Paimon was stole 2 macaroons, and you said those, and then when you said disappointment took them, I find that kind of funny.
But this is a shame. Jordan, think about this for a second. You're friends with a guy who came up with non-Italian potato salad. How the fuck do you feel? Non-Italian. 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 He's non-mutant in Italian at the same time. Non-Italian.
I'll have to wait for the calling guy.
Seaman.
That's great.
Now, I'm going to make a banner for the house.
Alright.
I don't know what to do. We'll come up with some.
Yeah,
I always do.
you do. You might gain inspiration by the little bit of sights in Genshin. But you don't play it no more, so...
Yeah, don't remind me. I want to try something.
Ooh, there's a viewpoint. Yoink.
Light blue. Okay, so go light blue banner.
That's a big trigger hitbox. I wasn't even 5 feet close to it.
And the line color. So light blue,
Just
orange.
relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least with besides, I doubt Verena understands any.
Thanks, Navia.
I'm gonna make a quick little sand quill this out of place.
Best of luck to you.
That's a mean oil.
Oh, finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you were willing to help.
Well, that's not gonna work.
Now, don't you all look disappointed? Don't tell me that your investigation came up empty-handed. That was to be expected, of course. The guilty
that
can
might.
never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most anticipated foe, concede so easily.
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. First, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course. I will explain while Lynette demonstrates on stage. All the necessary items have been prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began, and thus could not have committed the crime. Is this correct?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina, do you wish to refute his statement in any way?
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact, I'd say you were hardly in that tunnel at all.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask, what did you hear while you were inside?
I felt that was a Phoenix White reference right there.
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track.
I'm in the court session right now of the story, and they did like a little slide cut of the two characters making their statements.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a bell. One so loud, I believe practically everyone heard it.
Alright, but it's not gonna be for a while.
I don't know. I just don't know which one's better in my opinion. I don't know if I'm okay. The one on the right is looks weird because
Sure you could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
the back banner is supposed to be gray, but I don't know if it jumps through. Unlock. So, I just don't know which one's better. I think the one on the left might be exactly better.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use the words of the magician
I might do
himself.
the blackest or the
You
gray.
never
I
know
don't know
what can happen
That's
in
one
the
of
blink of
something
an
else pretty
eye.
neat.
Indeed, it seems his alibi can also collapse in the blink of an eye. Of course, I have armed myself.
Using his own words against him when he was doing the show earlier.
Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Heart? The House of the Heart?
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Platoons doing it. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it.
Don't mind me just dying.
The outland is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted?
She's that type of gun too.
Don't worry about the screenshot. Just figure out which one.
Alright.
I'm just not even gonna bother with it. Sorry.
Man, this Alright, yeah. Sorry folks that it seems like I'm having some bit of errors on this.
Team, assemble!
I've been trying to get this all in one complete segment, but it's not letting me having in this big segment. And even just trying to chat with my friend. It's not even working. This is being a whole new shit. I have to restart that cutscene as well, don't I? I do. I hope you don't mind me
What do? The whole situation, good plan.
Just relax.
Allow me to skip.
Even if everyone beside.
Thanks, Nav.
Best of luck to you.
Since I have to restart the cutscene.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how did...
To be honest?
No.
Well now, don't you all look disappointed? That was to be expected. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terrible.
Since both parties are... Firstly, in...
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. You ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once...
Yes, that...
In that case...
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly... There is no way...
That is simply your...
Oh,
The roaring countdown...
And you did... No, I see.
Huh?
Hey, hang on.
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that long.
I was right by the box, and I definitely...
Look at those scales.
Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my... Tell me.
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did.
So the serial
I've got a feeling that...
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
I'll start about here, because this is where it got cut.
Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. Unless your script already has holes in it. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting and discord, I suppose. This was almost too easy. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny, why didn't you...
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina has raised 2 points. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true? Please answer my question.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, you're...
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentencing already.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary? They're already as good as guilty.
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
Well, this is awkward. I didn't think the Hydro Archon would dig all that up. I'm sorry, Traveler and Paimon.
Yeah, sorry.
Paimon just knew where to start. We trusted you two. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad guys. Not to set the wrong tone or anything, but Paimon's really mad.
I'm very sorry. I know you're angry, and reasonably so, but please, let me explain. I know you've clashed with the Fatui several times before. I wouldn't be surprised if just hearing the word is enough to make you upset. But our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers have very different personalities and goals.
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and the disaster that its people might face. I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we need to. Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, if I were you, I fear that I'd even struggle to trust me at this point. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me. I am no criminal. At least, not in this case.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but... Right. Let's hear your answer.
Of course. I'll answer any... We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the core.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard what should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. I chose to err on the side of caution and retreated the way I came. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground. But the countdown was almost finished, so there wasn't time to give it any thought. After that, the homicide occurred just as...
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course. We must know all we can about this nation's secrets in order to deal with that prophesized crisis.
That's the only way we can save everyone.
So, there you have it. The whole truth. I swear, I didn't hide anything from you this time. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But, like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's nothing I can do to stop you.
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're gonna need a seriously watertight defense. Huh?
Alright, let's continue the trial. An interesting case. Nonetheless.
Both parties have returned to their positions. Let us continue the trial. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention at this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
Oh, It's a minigame now. Okay, I'm blue. I
As
need.
the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that this sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linny red-handed. So Linny proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linny passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the...
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events. What Linny experienced.
Oh, this is gonna be fun because I was pretty stupid on the last one. Lenny entered the tunnel. Based on the opposite events who currently done the loopholes in their statement, use the evidence obtained during the investigation and execute areas. Ooh, so I might miss some that could have been very important. Like some of the new influences, as previously I stepping more resources than people. When you find all incorrect content, you complete the cycle of efforts and reveal the truth. Oh, not the opportunity during the magic show. Exactly. What is it? That's likely when well, okay, so I don't fully say I can just fail and then casually figure out the right one.
According to Linny, he left.
I got that one.
Linny went to the room that contained. Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath. Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel, but he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been an empty room. Since he felt something was amiss, he returned immediately. The crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again, and in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent!
I feel like that was all just given to me on a silver platter, more than giving me a chance to figure out my own, because I failed like, I don't know, 15 times? 20?
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that! Wasn't it awesome?
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Lenny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of killing someone on stage be?
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! And that's why they're partners of mine. They've managed to well, your denial is very strident. I'll give you that. But what proof do you have? Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, how could... You're saying that he wasn't.
Okay. Which is the evidence that Lenny wasn't in the tunnel without took place? Let me guess, this is going to be the exact same thing?
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought?
Yep, it is. I'm gonna guess this one.
That's right! Lenny
Alright.
wasn't in the box or in the tunnel. That's why he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Lenny had already entered the basement via the same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof! How do you like that?
Well played. To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Oh, this is fun.
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or could there have been a third person involved? Is that... The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the...
Haha.
That can...
Oh, is that...
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator... The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So there must have been some fear that she would attract attention. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely...
No, I didn't want to put that, damn it.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at... The deceased's name is Cowell. No one entered or left the opera house through... The sound we heard may have come...
Yeah, okay. Well, I gotta give him more hints.
No one entered or left the opera... Halsey's clothing was in the... Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into... Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The sound we heard may have come from a clash, but Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment. No one entered or left the opera... The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. It would have been tough for both people to...
Damn it. But I got two of them right.
The sound we heard may have... No one entered or left the...
Huh.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things?
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not, just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear.
Excuse...
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that... The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the... The deceased's name is Cowell. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. The vase was not broken by chance.
There we go.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method where a person could be transformed
Oh, just a moment, please. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not... Must we really? I should think that of any magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection. But Halsey's disappearance...
Even so, I trust the Traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him.
Did you eat any of that soup that I did?
But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased, Cowell.
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water.
The primordial sea.
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontain. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of... As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving...
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? Just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partner?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey
Pretty
has
big
yet to be
courtroom.
found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal hook! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
Yeah, I'm having technical difficulties with this. It is having fun.
Wasn't it awesome?
In other words,
It's having fun.
you believe that he knew nothing of
Being
the
annoying.
incident?
That's right!
And I'll try to get these done as soon as possible. So now I have to do this. Story classes. The daily commissions. And events.
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't, and assuming that what
Try to
you
hurry
say
up
is
and
true,
get these all done as fast as
only
possible.
needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case. What would the point of
So sorry if you guys want to see the dialogue.
That's right, you tell him! Well, you're of course, you're saying that he wasn't.
That's right! Let this meet the same clue.
To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be...
Yeah, so the little Emlet's time is not the real true amount of time I spent trying to stream.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at... It would have been tough for both... Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment. It would have been tough for both people. Lenny was not in the tunnel at that. The deceased's name is Cowell. The sound we heard may have come from a clash, but no one entered or left the... Halsey's clothing was in... The sound we heard may have come from a clash between missing Halsey and...
Excuse me.
No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. No one entered or left the opera house through its entrances. It would have been tough for both people. No one entered or left.
What's wrong, Traveler?
Look, since
I'm
we're
gonna
at
change a quick setting. Since this is there we go.
If only we knew. Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel, it's not like this is a magic trick.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on
Since
to
we're
the
more
next
or less
stage of the trial.
replaying events.
Lenny was not in the tunnel. The sound we heard made... The deceased's name is Cap. No one entered or left the op... The vase was not...
I don't get... Lynette, if there's...
How could a person ever be transformed into water? Magic tricks.
Even so, the truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of... Since Cal was the deceased, but given that we aren't making...
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end...
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to... Guards!
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress. We discovered several test tubes of fluid with the notebook and the primordials. The note's contents also... The notebook has many... One of these tubes, the notes also state... As such, we...
You've gotta be kidding!
But something so...
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain...
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean... Just a minute. Could that mean...
Demoiselle, wait! What about your part?
Let's go. Just...
Order! Still, guards. Mr. Linney.
Of course. If we uphold this...
Right! Like the metal hook! Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordials.
The deceased's name is... Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have some... I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick. The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before... Now it seems like the hook rope... The rope that strung the...
Damn it.
I remember there was something... The rope that strung the...
Dang it.
Lynette was in the magic box on stage. Now it seems like the hook rope... Lynette was in the magic box on... I remember there was something...
It's in the original plan. Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope, and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person?
No. It seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's
What?
That can't be. Does this not, my dear citizen?
Time for this again.
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young, having made modifications that, upon his... Ultimately, he knocked Cowell out. Now, as much as I regret... Am I right?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. Is this the end?
Oh no! Seems using the what?
I think we've all seen. I believe this is indeed. Now then, Mike. Excuse me,
Miss, I must...
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good... I'll show you an amazing... What in the...
No offense, miss, but miracles like...
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Linny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't worry. Spina di Rasula has made the necessary arrangements on your behalf. But, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think I should...
I understand.
And voila!
Wait, isn't that Halsey?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then before I...
That'll teach you to
Where should I begin? I'm sorry.
What?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian. And I'm original. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Linny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey! No wonder you look familiar. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no kid.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story. The flower vase was not... See? The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lily Ann's attempt to break out when she was frightened. Lily Ann was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid.
And it's Ace Detective! Having been selected out of the blue, Lily Ann panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open, producing the thud we all heard. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lily Ann had not dissolved. He did not know that Lily Ann was not from Fontain, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect. He tried to force Lily Ann back into the box. The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lily Ann came out on top, knocking Cowell out, and with no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk. That she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the opera house these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that...
Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina. Please answer the question.
What? Are you reading? No. I have no further.
Wow.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontain, the actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop. And he poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box, and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontain, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the Opera House, and was thus ignorant of the... From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the... While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make... As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work, Park. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation. How did you find the water from the primordial sea?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but false evidence that you dared to bring before—
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but I'm sure you know what you must do.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a—
We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to set. Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection.
Yes! Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to it can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the boss we're talking about.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Wow.
So, we're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you do, but still. Let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire— As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Heart?
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you— Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the street. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his— I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for a time. But I didn't want my sister to remain a street rat together with me forever. Before long, an aristocrat came to me, and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility?
That was how we felt at first, too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was. After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. I went to that noble's bedroom and asked him about her whereabouts. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal—
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster care. And I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person, and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way, all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood. And the knave, standing there in the dark.
So, she'd already taken care of that.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphans. Father, I mean, the knave, might have seen something in me, and so she made me an offer. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, none will ever betray you. Indeed, betrayal shall never be permitted here. I was hesitant to trust her. I mean, I had just been betrayed by nobles, but she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first, giving us back our freedom.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has her own. She has gained permission from the Tsaritsa to first use the Gnosis' power when she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontain.
So, she believes in that prophecy?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontain can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontain. We won't give up on defending our homeland. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart from our family, is our—
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge—
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I can do is relate. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the House, I have never stopped making my own decisions, and that I believe what I'm doing is right. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find—
Bye, Linny!
Off we go! Hey there! What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving— Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been— And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow.
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. I'm a little shocked to hear that from you. But I suppose you are just travelers who have only arrived in Fontain after all. Sorry. I might have been too presumptuous.
Don't say that, Navi.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing new hope to spring forth, and the reflection in the murk to become clearer. Sorry about that. I'm a bit prone to nostalgia. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
Huh? Do we really need to get that formal?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later. Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
You don't have to...
Oh, wonderful. In that...
Alright then, let's have...
Adventure time! Off we go!
lead the way.
Over here! Surprise!
Time itself is a silent song.
Step on up!
Let's light it up!
open it.
Piece of cake.
Shine down! Cue the spotlight! Fire hazard! Oh, that hurt. Everybody stand back! Huh? There is no escape! Let's light it up! The fuse is lit! Step on up!
Want me to come along? Time to go. Time to go. Time to go. It's high. The birds call!
Illusion shattered! The wind knows me.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Go with the ship down! Torn to oblivion!
Time for a light show!
There is no...
Time to go. Time to go. to go. Time to go. Follow the wind.
Illusion shattered! Into the wind!
It didn't kill it.
The wind knows me.
Adventure time. That's gonna hurt in the morning. Why do they never miss?
There is no escape! Into the wind!
Fire hazard.
One with nature!
Everybody stand back! Huh? Let's light it up!
Shine down! Wind strike!
Let's light it up!
The wind knows me.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Illusion shattered! One with nature.
As one with wind and cloud.
The fuse is lit!
Time to go.
The wind knows me.
One tip to my hammer.
One with nature.
Fire hazard!
Into the wind. Follow the wind. One with nature.
Time for a light show.
The wind knows me.
I'm going in! Huh? Let's light it up!
One with nature.
Fire hazard!
Into the wind.
Everybody stand back! Clink!
Clouds high. The birds...
There is no escape! Inazuma shines eternal!
All the way. World holds dear is but a... Drop.
Time to go. One with nature. Time to go.
The insolent shall be punished.
The wind knows me.
Then where are
Go in! Let's light it up!
Fallen leaves, adorn my...
The fuse is lit!
Illusion shattered. Into the wind.
You need to hurry up.
Who says there aren't benefits to a life of wandering?
Time to go. Time to go. Time to go. Time to go.
wind knows me.
Teamwork is trick!
As one with wind and cloud!
Into the wind. The wind knows me.
Time to go. One with nature.
There is no escape. Into the wind.
Time for a light show.
Time to go.
One with nature. Clouds high. The birds.
I'm going in. The fuse is lit.
The wind knows me.
Let's light it up. Teamwork is dreamwork. Time for a light show.
Into the wind. Illusion shattered.
The fuse is lit. Gotta watch it. Yeah.
One with nature.
As one with wind and cloud.
Shine down.
Everybody stand back.
The wind knows me.
Time for a light show. light it up! Fire hazard!
One with nature.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
There is no escape!
Into the wind.
Get out of here!
Illusion shattered!
Time to go. Time to go. One with nature. Fallen leaves. Adorn my...
Let's light it up! I'm going!
There is no escape!
Fuse is lit!
Into the wind.
Off we go! Time for a light show!
Let's go.
Illusion shattered!
Another test subject.
One with nature. Time to go. The wind knows me.
Another test subject. Suffocate.
One with nature. Time to go. The wind knows me.
Everybody stand!
Clouds high. The birds come.
There is no escape! Now you shall perish!
more companions! Hooray!
Into the wind.
I'm going in! Let's light it up! Fuse is lit!
One with nature.
Everybody stand back!
As one with wind and cloud.
The wind knows it. Shine down. One with nature.
I'm going in!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Fire hazard! Here come the fireworks!
Illusion shattered. Into the wind.
Let's light it up!
The wind knows it.
Let's light it up!
Shine down.
There's no end to this.
Into the wind.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Clouds high, the birds call!
One with nature. Into the wind. There is no escape. The wind knows it. One with nature.
A just different way! Feels like a fit to be killed!
The wind knows it.
Fire hazard!
Illusion shattered. Wind strike.
Another test subject.
One with nature. There is no escape.
I'm going in!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
The wind knows it.
Fuse is lit!
One with nature. Shine down.
Let's light it up! Time for a light show!
Time to go.
There is no escape. Into the wind. Shine down. One with nature.
As one with wind and cloud.
Illusion shattered. Torn to oblivion. There is no escape.
Time to go.
Here come the fireworks.
Clouds high. The birds call.
Into the wind. Inazuma shines eternal.
The wind knows me.
Time for a light show. Let's light it up. There is no escape. Everybody stand back.
One with nature.
Fire hazard.
That hurts. It's fine. Time to go. So many regrets.
Off we go.
Another test subject.
Illusion shattered. Into the wind. Teamwork is dreamwork.
The wind knows me.
Time for a light show. I'm going in.
Fallen leaves adorn my night. One with nature. Into the wind.
Teamwork is dreamwork. The fuse is lit. The festival ends.
bitch knows me.
Let's light it up! Why do they never miss? Everybody stand back! Fire hazard!
Add astro.
Time to go. Time to go. Time to go.
If we've got nothing else to do, why don't I tell you a story?
One with nature. Illusion shattered.
The fuse is lit.
Into the wind. Shine down! The wind knows me.
Dodge this!
The fuse is lit.
Illusion shot!
Time for a lecture!
Time to go. Into the wind.
Fuse is lit!
One with nature.
There is no...
The wind knows. Follow the wind.
Ad Astra at... Thank you for